Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. And this video is about telling the truth, like all my videos are about telling the truth. It's not about offending anybody. If they get offended, it's something that they or their group did to them. And you need to understand that. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on here. Why do they think that if they change my voice and make it harder for me to talk and maybe mess up my grammar at times, why do they think it helps them? Well, it goes back to manifest destiny and the ship's manifest. So manifest destiny is an idea that has to do with white supremacy, has to do with sheer stupidity, has to do with the philosophy that is seen as the most sick and disgusting philosophy in human history, which is the colonial philosophy, the Western colonial philosophy. Hitler was building on the Western colonial philosophy. The Romans had it, the Nazis had it, the English when they colonized places, the French, the Dutch, the Portuguese, the Spanish, the Belgians, what have you. Manifest destiny goes like this. They believe that they are magically, divinely ordained, or at least they're trying to convince themselves. The evidence shows us they were trying to convince themselves. And that's an important distinction, mind you. That they were magically, divinely ordained, which they weren't, to spread their values around the world. Everyone who's, taken history in grade school, which is supposed to be like everyone, right? They came across the idea in their 4th grade history book, 5th grade, what have you. And they saw that it was used to justify, or to try to justify, the Native American genocide, slavery, railroading, the Chinese, the Japanese internment camps, what have you. It was a recurring theme in American history. Now, the ship's manifest refers to the cargo. And the cargo, first and foremost, when we're talking about manifestation, when we're talking about manifest destiny, when we're talking about the Western elite and what they're trying to be like, was the Igbo tribe from Africa. And the African slaves, it was like 1 million Igbos were taken as slaves in the transatlantic slave trade to the Americas. Hispaniola, Brazil, South Carolina, everywhere they were taken. And when it comes to the cargo, they were trying to manifest the destiny of the king, right? So the West had various monarchs, and they were trying to manifest the destiny of the divine line of Christ. That's why in the Da Vinci Code, they try to superimpose, Western bloodlines on the Royal African Falcon martial art order. And Hebrew is an Afroasiatic language. And Revelation 17 talks about the languages. They did not speak Eurasiatic, they spoke Afroasiatic. And just like with the idea of Amun Ra, they try to put something before God, and they try to merge two ideas. Here, in this context, we see that the Afro comes first, and that's correct, because it was Africans and not Asians who established Babylon. So they speak an Afroasiatic language because God chose a certain type of black person to lead all of humanity and to establish Babylon when it was great. And it was through that kind of divine martial code that in the story Abraham named himself after Ham, right? Because of that divine martial code. Now we see that Westerners, when it comes to the Western elite, they tend to act like children or something. They are like Aleister Crowley, right? They act like kids, and they play this kind of occult pagan game, and they're forcing people to play it, and the righteous are resisting them, and they're carrying their cross and dying, just like in Rome. There's a bunch of Nero-type people saying, do it this way, and those people who are loyal to God saying, no, we won't. And they're saying, you better respect the white Jew and LGBT pagans who are trying to tell you what to do. And, the stories about us, they try to make it about them to their extreme disgrace. And everyone should know this. Everyone should know this. And so what ends up happening is you have these people who are more disgraceful than emos. Emos kind of keep to themselves. These are like nerds and arrogant people. They're trying to tell everyone what to do.